This legislation is to allow the government to continue to fund essential services because, as the Minister is aware, the estimates won't be finalised until sometime into the new year. So this will allow the continued payment. I regret in relation to social welfare that the government chose not to give people like people on the state retirement pension any increase at all. So nothing like that is contained in this. It's just as you were. In relation to the Minister's own responsibility in respect of insurance, I think it is an enormous pity that the government has not seen fit to try to make some arrangements in relation to all of the businesses, community organisations and childcare facilities now under serious threat in terms of their future functioning because the Irish insurance market, despite being extremely profitable, is in complete disarray again under the, if you like, watch of this government. And in particular, the Minister's colleague, the Minister for Children, Catherine Sapone, announced herself astonished that in some cases insurance fees for crèches and such like had gone up from maybe 3,000 to 8,000 to 10,000 because of people leaving the market. We got the Central Bank's report yesterday in relation to how insurance companies are gouging ordinary people who are paying motor insurance and who don't make false claims. The people who make the false claims should be dealt with, but they are a tiny minority of all of the people who properly pay their insurance and don't make false claims. I just want to ask the Minister one point. It would have been possible to offer temporary insurance to many of the organisations I'm referring to, including the Crèches, using the facility of the Irish Public Bodies Insurance Company, which is a state-owned insurance company, and to avoid the risk of really valuable community and social enterprises and small businesses closed down on a temporary basis while the government seeks to address the real problems caused by the difficulties in insurance, the fact that a lot of businesses are closing. The Minister, I'm sure, met many of these businesses, but the situation in relation to crèches coming into the new year, Minister, is a disaster. So I would just say you should look at the Labour Party proposal to actually look at the Irish Public Bodies Insurance Fund, and such a provision could have been easily made through the mechanism of these or other provisions and decisions of government. We won't be objecting to this because it is necessary to make payments, but it's a real black mark against the government that insurance is just in chaos yet again, and lots of valuable community services, particularly crèches, may be forced to close for lack of insurance.
Brilliant. In terms of insurance, Deputy, and you know, it's a major issue, and it's a major issue that I'm dealing with. But I do want to put on the record of the House about crèches. I'm in the job 30 months, 2.5 years, almost, and on no occasion did anybody from the sector that is childcare, on no occasion did anybody come to me in relation to insurance for the childcare sector. And the Cost of Insurance Working Group, and I checked with them also, and they were there before I got in there for almost another year. So for almost 4 years, we've had no issue with childcare insurance. Now there is an issue at the moment, and the issue at the moment is in relation to, there are two brokers who operate in the sector, and one of the brokers now has lost the underwriter for the sector. There is another broker who is operating for the sector with an insurance company, an Irish-based insurance company, and there's no issue with that company. That company is open for business as usual, and they have capacity for additional scope in relation to childcare. But the one thing that is very clear, that is very clear to me in relation to insurance, if there is a claim against the business will pay a large amount of insurance the subsequent year. If there are multiple claims, a lot of insurance companies choose subsequently not to insure that business. And this has moved forward more than just in childcare, and I see it in nearly every sector now, and I see too many areas, whether it's sporting organisations, sporting clubs, childcare, or other areas of insurance, that there isn't sufficient governance, there isn't sufficient oversight, that there isn't sufficient structures in place for the overall sector. And we have to get that in place, because if that happens, the insurance companies are able to come in and see that a premises or a business is being run correctly. What I would say, Deputy, is this isn't the right forum for the conversation about insurance. I accept fully your bona fides in relation to raising it on the floor, but that as a member of the Finance Committee, I'm happy to present before the Finance Committee on insurance. We've had the Law Reform Commission report last week. We have the Central Bank report this week. By the end of January, the submissions will be received by the LRC in relation to the potential for this chamber to cap the levels of awards. The Judicial Council commencement was concluded today. The bill is now fully operational, and again, a huge amount of work will be happening in that space. So thank you.